there is a depth to reality, a wealth to be experienced that is inexhaustible. How we orientate our thoughts around reality, how we understand it, can greatly influence our experience of reality. Now we all have assumptions we live by. We all have already formed some way of making meaning, of giving context to our world. We do it unconsciously, we do it naturally. When we become more intentional about structuring our understanding of reality, we have different terms that we use, philosophy, theology. Those are just ways of categorizing our knowledge. Now, occasionally I receive an email from somebody that's very concerned that I'm dabbling in philosophy instead of remaining within the boundaries of theology. You see, those boundaries are boundaries that we use to describe these categories of knowledge. It's not that God only remains within theology, or that reality is limited to certain categories. Our experiences do not come to us pre-categorized. We do it simply to organize our knowledge. I love Psalms 19 that says the heavens declares the glory of God. Day to day pours forth knowledge. Night to night pours forth speech. Their voice is not heard, yet their message goes into all the world. All of creation is incarnation. And therefore our knowledge of reality contains within it the unveiling of the God who is intertwined with every process, the God who is present in every event. Our categories does not exclude him. And I have found many of the philosophical explorations of reality so beneficial, so valuable in enriching our experience. And so some of the ideas that we're going to be exploring in the next couple of series of videos might seem, they fit within the category of philosophy. But keep in mind that if God is present everywhere, philosophy does not exclude God. He is revealed in those areas of knowledge as well. One of the reasons I think there's an aversion to any, even to theology sometimes, is because our ideas can become so abstract that they become disconnected from concrete experience. Now, good theology, and I think good philosophy as well, always comes back to concrete experience. It remains relevant. And I want to explore some of the ways in which our understanding of reality can maintain that connection to experience, so that the end result of good theology, good philosophy, the end result of a good understanding of reality is an enriched experience. Very often people think that the end result of all your learning and all your understanding is to get to a place of certainty. that's the worst goal. Because certainty very often just masks the lack of experiential value. Now, I think the end result should always be enriched experience, and instead of simply certainty. So one of the ways in which we can do that is to start our quest in the more concrete aspects of our experience, then move into the more abstract ideas, but always bring them back again to the concrete reality of our experience. Now, the boundary between what is concrete and what is abstract isn't a definite either concrete or abstract. It's not a black and white distinction. In all our thoughts, in all our ideas, there's some level of abstraction. But we can intentionally think in such a way that it is more connected to concrete experience. So this is what I mean. When you think of your experience, when you pay attention to what you experience, or pay attention to a baby, a young child who's not developed language yet, who's still trying to make sense of this amazing world that he has entered, their experience begins simply with the impressions and the influence that the environment has upon us, and still with us as well. Each one of our experiences do not begin with abstract ideas, but with the immediacy of the impressions upon us in this moment. Now, for thoughts to form, for language to form, for concepts to develop, we interpret those impressions, we organize them, we filter them, we categorize them, we interpret them. And so there's always a level of interpretation involved whenever you think. Whenever you speak, we are already busy with symbols and symbolism and giving meaning to our experience. That is why two people can be present in the same situation, at the same event, but experience it very differently. Because your experience has an element of interpretation to it that's unavoidable. So thoughts, statements are not devoid of feeling. Their origin is a very concrete feeling of our world, but part of the process of becoming a thought and becoming an idea that can be expressed in language is this interpretive process where we give meaning to those impressions and thereby create and enrich our experience. Sometimes we think that being objective means we strip our language of all its feeling, we strip our ideas of all its subjective perspectives and just present it as a logical statement. And with that, somehow we create the idea that truth and the correct interpretation is devoid of feeling. It never is. Every idea, every concept is a perspective that has its origin in feelings that have been interpreted. So that's just a quick introduction to where we're going to go with this series. We're going to delve into ideas from a philosophical perspective, from an experiential perspective. But all of these ideas have got one aim, and that is to enrich experience. Look forward to it. Bye.